Modern humanity? Ordinary and comfortable. It seems like humanity has always existed this way. However, things were not always this easy. Imagine a world not shaped by today's needs, dying from a simple flu, suffering from hypothermia due to lack of shelter, or losing our entire family to a predator attack. For almost the entirety of human history, that steak you love so much did not come to your table so easily. The comfort of not being in survival mode made us forget our past. Today, we will embark on an entertaining journey to remember our past history. Our story began 6 million years ago with the divergence of tribe of Hominini in different locations across Africa. As this extended family of many cousins continued to grow and evolve, the genus Homo, which we recognize as the first humans, emerged around 2.8 million years ago. By 200,000 years ago, Homo sapiens came into the world. At least 6 different species of our cousins were already roaming the earth. For example, while Homo habilis the handyman lived around 2.3 million years ago, Homo erectus survived for 2 million years. During this journey, we also had relatives like Homo ergaster, who went extinct 2 million years ago. It is astonishing to know that Neanderthals, who recently went extinct, lived as our neighbors until 40,000 years ago. Modern humans have a small amount of Neanderthal DNA. This is one of the greatest pieces of evidence of our interaction with them. However, we do not know why Neanderthals disappeared. We have theories that they may have suffered genocide at our hands, were affected by diseases they were not immune to, or faced adaptation problems. As a result, only we remain. 6 million years we spent diverging from bonobos and chimpanzees is a very long time, with many long periods and unknown evolution leaps for which we have no data. In light of science, we are trying to fill these gaps, but the unknown has a tendency to color human imagination. Therefore, we ponder lost civilizations, alien seeding, and cataclysms causing mass extinction. Of course, it is impossible not to be excited when thinking about mysteries like the Book of Enoch, Göbekli Tepe, pyramids, Moai, the Great Unconformity, religions, and so on. But we will discuss all of these topics in different video titles. Returning to our topic, humanity discovered the use of simple tools 2.8 million years ago. Long before that, due to famine and similar events, we decided to abandon the trees and have walked. Afterwards, the evolution of our big toes was completed. We learned to stand up straighter so that we could better observe the environment and reach out to tree branches. Tool use completely changed the function of our forearms, and we became dependent on our 2 feet to walk. However, for the next 2 million years, we did not make much progress in terms of civilization until we discovered fire. This was one of the greatest leaps in human history we mentioned before in this story. Controlling fire meant making food more nutritious, nourishing our brains, and reducing the strength of our jaw muscles, thereby creating more space in our skull for the brain. The heat and light from fire allowed for more active use of the nights and made the destructive winter season more bearable. It also became a defense mechanism against predators and a weapon against prey animals. At some point in the future, we will start telling these events as the Prometheus myth to our children, but we still have a long journey ahead to reach that point in history. 300,000 years ago, humans living in hunter-gatherer societies could start fires, developed simple tools made of wood and stone, buried their dead, and communicated with each other through proto-language structures. At this point somewhere, our species was starting to take on its anatomical form, as we know it today. We think this process was completed around 200,000 years before modern age, but behaviorally, modern humans did not appear in historical records until around 70,000 years before the Common Era. 50,000 years ago, humanity gained a multi-purpose brain and experienced an explosion of innovation. This was the second leap in our civilization. Culture became more complex. Language evolved to be more modern and detailed. How we reached this point is still unknown. With a bit of speculation, I might mention the Anunnaki. I explained in previous videos or inscriptions from Hebrew scriptures where God taught Adam the words. However, what truly interests us in this video is how this development set us apart from other living beings. So, go on. This cultural and linguistic development gave us one of our greatest abilities, cooperation. This cooperation was not like the herd mentality seen in lion prides or ant colonies. We are talking about society members acting in pursuit of common goals, despite each having their self-interest. This was the beginning of our development into the apex predator of nature, despite our bodies being vulnerable to it. This evolutionary stage brought us expanding and applying knowledge, preserving knowledge by passing it down through generations, and developing and advancing this knowledge with each new generation. This power eliminated the limitations of instinctual and genetic transmission of knowledge, providing an incredible boost to human evolution. As a society, we know more today, but our ancestors were far better equipped individually. Now, our ancestors were physically superior, had high environmental awareness, and had extreme survival skills, but were far from developing civilization. Because division of labor was not yet present. Around 12,000 years ago, the third great leap occurred. How it happened is still unknown, but suddenly, humanity discovered agriculture in multiple regions. With the advent of the agricultural age, settled life was established and people began to rely on others' skills. In society, individuals began to divide labor according to their skills. As agricultural productivity increased, civilization began to form. Environmental conditions became more predictable, and food storage culture developed. Along with this, the urge to protect food and tribes led to conflicts and wars between different tribes. The emergence of simple defense mechanisms and the necessity to live in narrower and more protected areas led to the formation of the first cities we could consider. As the need for survival diminished, professions such as strategy experts, soldiers, administrators, and crop accountants began to emerge. Cities started to transform into kingdoms. The exchange of information and trade between different civilizations accelerated the pace of cultural and civilizational development. These economic and cultural needs caused the Sumerians to invent writing in Mesopotamia around 3200 BC. For a long time, people continued to develop rapidly. The rise of philosophy, art forms, thousands of crafts, architectural developments, religions, and more. We witnessed ancient civilizations that left behind secrets as they faded and new civilizations rising from their ashes. While marveling at their histories, even in this short span of billions of years, we cannot help but question the alluring unknown of cosmic knowledge, as we see the loss of many things and the disappearance of knowledge. When the scientific revolution began 500 years ago, fundamental sciences like mathematics, physics, astronomy, and chemistry began to question everything we thought we knew. Human lifespans increased. Our quality of life improved significantly compared to the past. The Industrial Revolution, as incredible as the Agricultural Revolution, followed this scientific age. With the cumulative development of technology, the computer age began.
3, 2, 1.
Afterwards, our first moon missions began. A big step for humanity. Ignore the previous brutality, massacre, and genocide in world wars. Soon, in the 90s, the internet became accessible to everyone. You already know what happened from that point on. Humanity, spanning nearly 130,000 generations, has used science to understand nature for 20 generations. Moving into the internet age in just one generation has not only altered our perception of time, but has also diminished the value placed on those developments. We may have also lost the knowledge of the past to the currents of time. The cumulative accumulation of knowledge blinds human eyes. Today, we explore space, our oceans, and underground, shaping nature to our desires. With the internet, we can see everything we want with a click, reach any point on the planet thanks to advancing aviation, and visualize our dreams in small boxes. We want you to realize this video is being presented to you thanks to the development of artificial intelligence. According to the Kardashev scale, we are either progressing to the next level of civilization or are continuing towards anthropogenic extinction due to the changes we've made to our planet. While struggling with simple problems in our daily lives, please consider how privileged we are to be at this point in history, on a larger scale. By thinking about the entire universe, you might realize how simple your current problem is. Don't forget to turn on notifications so we can meet in the next video. If you have different topics you are curious about or want us to examine, we would be happy if you mention them in the comments. We will also select a viewer who likes, comments, and subscribes for a giveaway and use their profile picture or a visual of their choice in our next video. Thank you very much for watching.